Hey guys, this is Blog of the Hut, and these are my favourites from the sequel trilogy. First off, before starting, I just want to say I've had quite a few new subscribers recently, and I just want to say a massive thank you for that. It's absolutely made my day every time I've seen that notification, and I will endeavour to put a bit more content on this YouTube page for you. So I just want to reflect on the sequel trilogy and just think about some of my favourite characters, ships, etc. From it. This is very much top of my head. My opinion may change by tomorrow, but I just wanted to do it just for fun, really. And I'd absolutely love to hear what your favourites are in comments, or make your own videos, and I'd love to see them. So launching right in, my favourite character, and this one actually did surprise me a little bit, but one reflection is Rey. I know that Adam Driver has, knockout performances in every film he's in, but it is Rey's journey ultimately, and there are those kind of moments where she sort of embodies that Star Wars heroic persona, in that she's had this really hard background and yet she's really compassionate, and she has these little human moments. Like, probably my favourite moment in the sequel trilogy is where she sees Rain for the first time on Acto, and just that, and again when she just decides to enjoy the party on Pasaana instead of just like Finn and Poe, just completely mission focused, and she's just enjoying the world around her, and that kind of sort of says that remember what we're fighting for thing without needing to actually say it like so many films do. So I really liked Rey for those kind of things. My favourite minor character is Voberdand, probably simply because he's a cool looking alien and he has one line of dialogue on screen, and I was going to say that's all we need, but probably a lot less than that to have a favourite minor character. There are so many cool characters, and I've just always been trying to follow him and make sure he's okay, and I was really relieved to see he was back in The Rise of Skywalker and joined by his dad, which is even cooler. Okay, moving in to capital ships now. This may change definitely as I get to analyse more and more of the Galaxy fleet, and I've seen some really cool designs in there, but I'm going to kind of stick with main ships that have a significant presence in the film, and I'm going to go with the Ninka from The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi fleet very much kind of represented an evolved version of the Rebel Alliance fleet, which was fine, but again I'd have preferred they sort of pushed it out there and a bit different. So I like the Ninka because I think they said essentially that it was an evolved Corellian Corvette, but it had very little resemblance other than the kind of curved front end to the original Corellian Corvette design. So I felt like that really was a more original design. My favourite kind of medium ship is the Resistance transport from The Force Awakens. I just thought it had such a unique profile, this kind of very wide, narrow design, but it was very standout and is very utilitarian, which fit the Resistance, and I like that they reused the cockpit part in The Last Jedi as well. Yeah, I really liked it, and it just felt right at home in Star Wars. My favourite starfighter on the goodies, for lack of a better term, is the Star Fortress bomber. I just thought that again, that just had that really good Star Wars feel with the cockpit and the big long bomb bay, and yeah, I just thought that was a really great opening moment. But of course, we can't talk starfighters without talking TIEs. And naturally, given that I've made a video about it, my favourite TIE is the TIE Dagger. Having analysed the visual dictionary, I think it's pretty clear that they don't have a folding wing design as I'd originally theorised, but it's still a really cool design because I respected that they went with sort of the original TIE design, and I like the TIE SF sort of upgrade, but since then we've basically just had versions with the TIE Interceptor, and I was really pleased to see that they at least went with something original for the final film. My favourite ground vehicle is the Treadable, Lando's vehicle on Pasaana. There's so many cool speeders and transports and things, but I just love the kind of clunkiness and just kind of rundownness of this vehicle, and just I suppose the simplicity of it as well. There's just these two massive treads around two massive wheels. I just thought that was just really cool, and it obviously harks back to the Sandcrawler, but it does feel very original at the same time. So I love that kind of clunky used Star Wars feel. My favourite walker, if we're going to talk about ground vehicles, we've got to talk about walkers. And this is again from The Rise of Skywalker, and it's the UATT, or Urban Assault Tripod transport from the Kijimi sort of background scene. And I really like that they'd kind of gone with something new, because one of my main sort of mini gripes is that they use these kind of iconic vehicles we've seen but in different roles. So for example, in video games you always get probe droids that you're fighting, but they're not there for fighting, they're there for probing. And you always get scout transports that are used for anything but scouting. So it was really nice to see that they designed a vehicle specifically for sort of urban assault, as in this intimidating profile that went round. It's got this massive arm that can tear down buildings, and it's just there to kind of pacify a population through terror, rather than a transport that's either designed for all-out warfare or for scouting ahead. So I just really like that design. My favourite planet is Crate. I thought it was so original. It kept that kind of single environment Star Wars feel, but the whole white salt with the red crystals underneath was just such a cool visual aesthetic, and just everything about that planet, from the underground scenes with the Falcon and the caves and the nature there. It was just all really, really cool. My favourite droid, and this is obviously a no-brainer, is BB-8. I thought it was just such an incredible design, especially when you get to see the practical versions, and I've got the Sphero version as well, which is so cool, and he's just got so much personality. My favourite creature, and again this one could change on a daily basis, but I think at the moment my favourite is the Hapabor from The Force Awakens. There was just something so great about that moment where Finn's linking for water, and there's just this massive, lumbering, ugly creature in his way, and just the fact that you could just see it from all angles, even some very unpleasant ones, and yeah, that just felt right at home. Just these huge beasts walking around these environments was just so Star Wars. My favourite species, sentient species, I did struggle with this one, but I think I'm going to go with Dewutin, just because, again, just that presence. I mean, all the guy did was sit there, but it was just such a presence in Maz Kanata's castle. And I suppose a slight personal touch for me, because, you know, claim to fame here. I was stood behind a guy in Celebration in the queue, and I saw him holding Grumgar's head, and his wife or girlfriend was there with him holding the arms. And later I found out he was the guy who actually won the cosplay competition that year, and I was right behind him in the queue. So, you know, but yeah, there's just something about that, and it's been reused. Obviously, we've seen it again in Jedi Fallen Order and other content. So it is a really, really cool design. We're going to get sort of slightly random here. My favourite Stormtrooper, I think you've got to always go. You can't be Star Wars without Stormtrooper design, so hopefully it will be in the future. But anyway, my favourite Stormtrooper, I'm going to go with the sort of bog standard Stormtrooper. I do like a lot of the other designs, the Flame Trooper, Snow Trooper, etc. Sith Troopers were pretty cool, but I thought the design of the Stormtrooper was such a genius design. They just look like Stormtroopers, and yet they're so distinct from the original ones, and basically they just look like modern versions of things, and they make the kind of Stormtroopers of the Galactic Empire look like something that was made in the 70s compared to them. It just fits perfectly. They've got the same visual presence, the black and the white, but I thought the design was such a nice evolution. I thought that was really cool. Right, my last thing is going to go with Force Power. And again, I'm going to go right back to The Force Awakens and just Kylo Ren stopping that blaster bolt. I don't know if it's been confirmed how exactly he did it. I have a theory that it could be him using the Force Slow power from Jedi Fallen Order, but whatever it was just such a cool moment. It was just kind of, it fit in with Star Wars, and yet it was so shockingly different from anything we'd seen before. And I just thought that was handled really well and made Kylo's presence really exciting. You knew straight away he was someone to fear and someone with great power. And it was, yeah, I think that was just one of the standout moments of the whole sequel trilogy. Right, that's it. I can't think of any more categories off the top of my head, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'd love to hear what your favourites are and how they differ to mine and what your reasons are, so please let me know. And yeah, like I said, I'll thank you for all the people who've subscribed, and I will try and get another video out for you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.